All right, where are we at here? NVIDIA, this was actually one of the more perfect trades I've seen in a while. It bounced right at this 230 level that I had as a resistance point or a support line from the daily chart. This was huge. It bounced literally right off this top, and now it's starting to rip and run. NVIDIA probably would have paid huge. So now I'm paying attention to this SPX play. So I see an uptrend right here. I notice there's some strength up here, but I'm going to wait for this third test of this uptrend, and then I'm going to take these 40-50 calls most likely. Maybe I'll even do like the 40-40s because they'll be pretty cheap at that point. Maybe buy just a quick couple, maybe not too many. I would love to get around $400 fill on two of these if I could. I might actually end up taking a couple more on the 40-50s because I think we got some room up there. I think that the 40-50 could be hit today from yesterday's close. So this could go in the money. Would love to see that. It's kind of just sitting. At some point, it's going to come back and retest this. I have a resistance point at 403.50, 404-ish. So I'm just waiting for this to come back down a little bit, retest this uptrend, and then I'm going to take for a bounce. So I'm going to be pretty patient on this trade, but it's going to pay out pretty well. There is a nice little consolidation period over here. I'd never want to take the SPX while it's going sideways because it's not going to make you too much money. As you can see here, around 280 to 300, you'd be just getting chopped out. So there's a couple things that I'm paying attention to. I really wanted this NVIDIA play. I think this might have a potential to go up to 240, 245-ish. Would be pretty nuts to see it at 250, but I'm not going to count it out. NVIDIA that expires tomorrow. They're really cheap. These already moved $7, so these $350, yeah, these would have went up over 100% a contract. Wow, that's crazy. I would have loved to get in that. Earnings plays that crush it usually are one of the better plays. I'm still in Melly for an earnings play here, but that's about all I got right now. May end up looking at Coinbase here in a little bit. This could be a pretty wild play. So this is kind of forming a nice little downtrend. Interesting. I'm pretty sure that these premiums are ridiculous, though. If I look at Coinbase premiums, yeah, these things, look at this implied volatility percentage. 200% is ridiculous. It pays pretty well, though, if it goes your way. It's struggling a little bit today, but if it bounced back up to that 65 mark, let's take a look at the high. The high of the days are 100 and the monies are 160. Those could actually be really great, but that's for tomorrow. Expiration. It's at the bottom of this Bollinger Band. I would expect it to come maybe down to this low of the day from pre-market, then maybe see a bounce. So Coinbase could be a nice little opportunity. But I'm still paying attention to the SPX. This, holy shit, has room all the way down from yesterday. I'm probably going to stay away from Coinbase. I don't really like to play that. I really only like to play Tesla, NVIDIA, SPX. And, wow, Tesla's getting hit hard. And the SPY. So just going to be patient here. Watching a video right here. Probably come down to this test around 198. 198, 199. Tesla's definitely going to come back down. That is weak as hell. We could probably play this too. We could play this bounce around 198. This is my target area for it. It's a little high though. Let me go back up for that. Let's redraw this. Might be a little bit too overextended. Oh, there's a lot of room down in Tesla, actually. Let's take a look. Yeah, it really is down to that 193 level. I don't think that we're going to get down there, but NVIDIA is still really strong, just sitting up here at this level. Could break out to that towards that 240. I'm looking at paying attention to these SPX 40-50 calls for today. Not seeing too much opportunity there. Still waiting for it to retest that downtrend. It might take a while to get there, but it should get there. Tesla's really interesting to me too, though. I do like the Tesla play. I do like NVIDIA. I'm going to be super patient today. I'm trying to take one good trade, one good solid trade with some good size, make a couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand, and walk away happy. Wow, look at this Amazon chop. It's 10 a.m. Usually we see some movement around 10 a.m. I don't think that there's any significant data coming out today at 10, but clearly not since it's already 10:01 and there was no movements. I'm still waiting for this uptrend test, and then I'll probably try to play the bounce because general rule of thumb in uptrends, 1, 2, and then a third bounce is usually one where I like to get in. So around 40.50, and as you can see, these SPX contracts, they're at 40.26 yesterday. Yesterday, these were, or a couple of days ago, they were at 40.50. So I'm looking at the daily chart on the SPY, and it looks like there's some room to run. Kind of hit this bottom of this Bollinger Band, and now it looks like we're trying to reverse just a tad. And then at this resistance point, it's around 403. The top over here is at 404. So around that level, these SPX cons would probably be close to the money. But I'm waiting for it to pull back, as I said. So let's redraw this uptrend. I think that we could get there, go right below this. Hopefully we tap it around this 401.20-ish level, and then I would take for some calls. So these were just 355. They're 248. I would love to get them below 2. I'll probably buy like 3 or 4. Let them ride back up. Maybe we can make about 200 or so a contract. That'd be pretty nice. So I'm looking for this opportunity right here. 1 minute chart. Make sure that when you're taking trades, that you know what you're doing on all time frames, not just one. And when you see a little rip up like this and then a spike down, don't try and buy the bounce right away because sellers are there. So wait for it to consolidate a little bit. I'm sure we'll get another little red down. And then if it doesn't blow right through this and start heading towards this low of the day, then I would love to take an opportunity for the bounce reversal here. Tesla at 200, NVIDIA at 237. Just keeping those on watch. Also watching Melly. It's not really moving too much, which makes me feel a little shitty about my position for earnings tomorrow, but I'm in these right now. I don't even know if I'm up anymore. Yeah, no, I'm only up 80. I'm up 29% on these, but I only have one. I was just looking at the opportunity for next week. So I'm up a good percentage. I only have one. I was thinking about swinging more, depending on how much profit I make today. That is that's my goal. So I'm waiting for this retest of this uptrend, and then I'll get in. Even just this little drop right here, I don't want to get in that. I'm going to try and see if I can get in some of these 40-50s around 170. So I'll set a limit order around 170. Maybe I'll get one at 180 here, maybe. No, I'm just going to leave that one order at 170 just in case. I don't want it to completely plunge on me if it starts to reverse. So keep it light with one. See if we can get filled right at that low of the day. And these ran up to almost 400. So if we can see this bounce at that level, that's huge. Down to 195. So this is why you do not chase tops, right? So it's consolidating up here. It looks like it's gonna run, but what is the opportunity here at 401 when it's at the top of the Bollinger Band? It's starting to fade off. Volume is fading. It doesn't make sense to buy up here. It's always better to buy either on a trend line or at the bottom for a reversal. Or below this VWAP line, I would love to see a little bit more of like a sideways consolidation over here. A couple more candles. Give it about one more second. We'll form another candle. Hopefully we get some sideways. And then a bounce right around here. This is my idea here. Hopefully that'll fill me too. Looks like 170 could be a good opportunity. If it breaks below 401, then I might have to hop out. But as of right now, I like this. Getting some weakness. Maybe I'll drag it down to 160. But remember, at this trend line, that's the big key. Could probably even buy some higher worth contracts, to be honest. I might actually switch these to 40-40. Oh, it was just about to hit me too, and I canceled it. 40/40s are 340 a piece. I'm actually going to go in one here at 340 if it fills me. All right, I grabbed one at 340. Let's see if it bounces on this trend line. I'm in lightly, kind of retesting it right now. So down to 310. Got a lot of weakness right now. I don't like that. I'm going to move this a little bit so I can get this perfectly. From pre-market. Okay, so this is the actual test. So I missed out on a little bit here. I'm only in on one of these. I'm trying to look for another one, but this is a lot of selling pressure right now. I usually don't like to trade this middle dead zone, but I saw the uptrend and I might have to stop myself out already, which is crazy. It's only a $60 loss on one. I usually go heavy on the top Bollinger Bands or bottom Bollinger Bands, but it's crazy that it's already hitting below this. I moved these to 40/40, so I might actually end up holding these for a little bit. But this 15-minute chart now looks really bad. But I'll be looking for a bounce. I think that some buyers will come in after that massive sell-off and start to push it up again here. Let's look at the daily chart. Let's see if it's bearish. You know, this doesn't look the best on the daily chart either now. It's kind of turning a little bit down to the support line around 400 exactly. That might be the point of where we have to take some calls at 400 rather than this middle dead zone. Yeah, she's going down, guys. She is going right down. So she broke this uptrend, and as you can see, it's fallen like crazy now. Usually you'll get some sort of bouncing here, but it looks like the sellers have arrived. I'm probably going to hold on to these until about that 400 level. Maybe lose about 150 bucks on one, but I'm looking to actually average down on these because I don't think that this is going to be a reversal day. Nvidia also sitting strong up here, so this could be a good opportunity up to 240. Tesla also looking pretty good. It has that room all the way down. Remember, up down to that 193 level. I don't know if we're going to get there, but that would be a really good opportunity for the put side as well. I'm still in these SPY or SPX contracts. For some reason, I still think that we're going to see some upward momentum. Had a nice little level off up here, but starting to see a lower shadow here. Down 50 bucks, but these were just worth 600 bucks, so could end up making a couple on one. I don't think I'm going to average down just yet. I'll wait for that to play out. We'll see how that goes. 40/40 is pretty much near high of the day, so if it runs back up to high of the day, then that's a good sign. But this is a lot of bearish momentum, so maybe don't follow this trade as of right now, but I'll talk my way through it. I haven't been confident enough to buy 10 contracts of anything in a long time. That put side would have been real nice, though. What am I looking at here? Amazon, Coinbase, Nvidia. There's something about Nvidia. Same thing as that PanW the other day. Ended up taking a while to play out, but ended up playing out. But this PanW 190 call could actually be the move today as well. I was playing 190s after the earnings, but now it's got some room up there. 190s are literally $50 a piece. This is a pretty big spread, so maybe I wouldn't play that. But even a $2.50 move, which seems really easy, especially the way that this is set up, it just moved $2 from the bottom. So 184 to 186. If this goes back up to this high point, those will be worth over 100% on the contracts. These are worth 290, so I'm down 50 on the SPY. Yeah, this is weak. But this lower shadow makes me feel like there's some buyers coming in here. I got to wait to see this a little bit more, but this is definitely a weak-ass candlestick formation. I would use this 475 as support. It's bounced here, but this 40/50 seems to be a retest. I can see this Bollinger Band curling up a little bit, so I may end up averaging down on these. What is it, 340? I might average down around 220 if I can. Maybe get two more, but this looks really bearish right now, this 1 minute chart. Might end up taking a nice little loss on this. Because this downtrend, yeah, so this uptrend, usually when you break below them, you retest and then reject. So that 1 minute is doing exactly that. Max, be careful in the video. It's really strong. Like very, very strong. But I'm still watching for a little run up here. So I'm down nicely on one contract, but I'm still not in a full position whatsoever. I'm trying to average down. I got in a little early, but I'm gonna have to see this 401 crack, like the 401 10-ish, to start to see that reversal. But this is starting to look real weak to me. Lots of volume on this candlestick, but then it came right back down to retest it. So this 450 is a nice level. I don't think that it's the bounce level just yet because there is some room down to this 400 level. I think 400 is the point in which we start to run again. I think there will be a nice bounce right at that level, but we're going to have to wait and see. Draw this downtrend. Have to crack the downtrend. It looks like it's going to retest this 400, which is not going to be good for these contracts, but it is pretty close to the money. It's not too far away on the SPX, so if we get any sort of reversal here to that high of the day mark, these will go crazy. I'm only down 80 a con. All right, let me know if you play that. If you play that in the channel, then I'll be able to signal it over text too. But I'm watching these 40-40 calls for a bounce. Got a nice little opportunity here right at this 450 level. I think that if we start to get some buyers here, we could see a nice green spike to high of the day. So it looks really bearish on the 15-minute chart. I'm not so sure that I love this setup right now, but this bounce level at 450 is making me have some sort of faith. Question is do I buy more at this level? If I can see it break above this 401, then maybe. These two longer lower shadows are a pretty good significant sign for me that it's going to start to reverse. And I've seen this so many times where it kind of looks like it's just going to start squeezing. I don't know why it does that, but I'm going to draw a new trend line down here. So if it breaks below 450, we have room to that 400 level, which should be a good opportunity for puts, but let's just hope that she bounces so I don't have to switch my script here. Still down 50 a contract, just one right now, looking to average down probably about 3 or 4. You don't need a lot of contracts at all on the SPX, especially if you're on the right side. Just got to find that right side. Yeah, this looks like it's about to reverse. I think I might average down one more here. This isn't a very strong buy candle though, so it makes me think it's just some consolidation. I could end up getting out of my one trade here flat here in a second, down 40 bucks or down 30 bucks, or even just break even. But I still, for some reason, think that this is going to the high of the day. Praying to God that it doesn't just chop and go sideways. This is a lot of volatility, though. I love this movement. It's a great day trading movement. I should have been a little bit more patient on this. I didn't realize that there was a... I guess it did break this downtrend, but that's all right. I got a pretty bad fill. I should have averaged down a little bit, but just making sure that we're not entering into one of those massive sell-off days. These could still turn these contracts into 500 apiece. So it would be a nice little 260 on one contract. Probably going to buy another one here unless this starts to break down this new uptrend. What is the best stock to invest in right now? I don't know, man. There's a million out there that are so beat up. I'd probably say Google's a really great opportunity right now. This is getting rejected. It's probably going to head lower. I wouldn't really invest in too much right now, to be honest. I think that the market's overinflated, and I think that we're going to crash back down even further. So I think Google has a lot of room down. This was down at 50 pre-COVID, or I guess during COVID, and 70s. So I think that we could get some pullback in Google, Amazon as well. I think Amazon's a good investment long term, but I think that this pulls back down to like 70s area. I still think there's a lot of downside to come in the market, but you'd never go wrong investing in the QQQ or TQQQ. Amazon's really great, especially their PE ratio, but I really don't think the economy's in a good stance, and I think we're going to see a massive leg down again here pretty soon. At least bringing the market back down to like the 380s, 370s level, in my opinion. There's a lot of lower shadows here. Question is when does this start squeezing? Because it very well could. I just don't really like this setup right now because we got some lower highs or lower lows over here, making me think that it's just consolidating for another move low to test this trend, which I would hate to see since I'm in the call side right now, but I am trying to average down. I'm only in on one contract. Got to be patient on days like this. Not really sure of the movement right now. I'm seeing order flow all over the map right here. Doesn't look like people know which way they want to take it either. NVIDIA is coming down a little bit, but this might be a good opportunity for some calls right around this 234 range. I think I'm going to set an alert on NVIDIA for a reversal. So we'll get notified at 234.50. My contracts, I'm only down $20 now on the SPY. I'm looking for that reversal. Once I start to see momentum getting towards high of the day, I'll probably add to my position. Has anyone ever has seen the VIX lately? Has it been doing anything? It kind of just like decoupled itself from the market. Let me look at this daily chart real quick. 21 down from or up from 17. Okay, so there's a little bit of action on here. Coming down a little bit here. This does not look very bullish to me, but the VIX just doesn't really do much for the market anymore. Even when the VIX is going up, the market is going up, which is really odd. Yeah, look at this weekly chart. It doesn't really do shit. Interesting. Yeah, I'm probably going to stay away from the VIX. I used to compare it all the time, same with the UVXY, but I think I'm good now. I think I'm good on that. Yeah, these contracts are starting to lose value. I think that we're probably going to end up down to this 400 level. Looks like that on the SPX here, down to 4,000. So, but it's just consolidating right now. I might end up adding more here, but for some reason I see the downside coming if we break below this, just because of that 15-minute chart. The 15-minute chart scares the shit out of me. Right down here, it's starting to form a lot higher low, so we could actually end up seeing some spike at this level. If we can get above this VWAP, I think we head back to high of the day. I think we're going to get a nice little volatile day, but seems to be consolidating right at this level and struggling below this. Looks like it's probably going to see one of those massive red candles here pretty soon. I'm in at 1 at 340. Really do want to average down to try and get this around like a 290 average, maybe even just a 300. And then I could easily take, $100, $200 a contract on a spike up. A high of the day would be a real big payer, but as of right now, looking at this daily chart, I don't think that we're going to get much of a reversal green day. A lot of the times, you'll see this. Try to run, you get rejected, and then we might even fill this a little bit down to 399 or 3990 on the SPX. This looks really weak. And until I still see some buyers, I think that this is going to break down probably pretty soon here. But this Bollinger Band is getting close, so. You guys want to watch me lose money real quick? I actually might buy some more and then actually take a little stop out right at this 450. Looks so weak. It's kind of forming a little bit of a head and shoulders too. Could pop back up to this 401.50, but that little run up would be nice. I think I'm gonna try and get filled here at 230. I think this might bounce, guys. This could be good. This could be great. A little squeeze up. There's not a ton of volume right now, but I think that this might be a really good opportunity. I know I have my starter position at 340. If I could get it down, I probably should have taken that little test. But we're consolidating like crazy. So there's going to be a real big move here coming in about, I don't know, I would say in the next 5 to 10 minutes. As it figures out which direction it wants to go, it's starting to form a little wedge pattern right here. See which way she wants to break out. As it gets tighter within the next 5-10 minutes, it's going to make a break for either that 400 or that high of the day. So I'm positioned for the call side right now. The odds are against me. We are getting near that low of the day mark and that low Bollinger Band on the 5-minute chart. SPY 1 minute looks pretty weak too. Little descending wedge down here. Kind of a bear pennant as well. I'm in calls right now. Indecisive as hell. Keeps rejecting though. Melly went red too. Damn it. I think I might end up losing that $290 on the Melly swing, but with the opportunity that it could perform. Holy shit, why is Lucid down 18%? This thing is having a tough day. Tough few days, actually. Oh, it spiked up to 17. I stay away from these meme stocks, but that's actually a pretty wild movement from 18 down to 8. I'm sure that the premiums were very, very inflated, so there wasn't really any opportunity for anybody to make money there, unless you just bought the stock or sold the stock. Love this TQQQ down to 22. I'm going to keep adding to these shares position under 20. Hopefully I can get this back down to around 18 or 17 at some point, because I think that we're going to get one last leg down, and then the market is firing all cylinders. I agree, Wild Boy, but I'm looking at this little wedge pattern. I need this to break, and I don't like this little bear pennant happening, but we did just break it a little bit, so we're testing. Hopefully it doesn't reject it. I need to see above 401.19. Above 401.19, I'm pretty excited about that. And usually we retest these, so could see if we see that bounce, it's going to happen right at this level, around this 401, and then we could see a little rip and run. I'm only at 290 here, so I think I'm only going to play with one for now because I don't really like this movement unless it starts to skyrocket, and then I'll probably hop on the momentum. But this could be a nice little cup and handle forming already if you want to kind of fast forward a little bit. Could be a cup and handle, but I also see a little head and shoulders kind of forming here. It's a little low here, but it could come up to around this 401.50 level and then reject. It's down to 275. 280. Yeah, this looks a little weak. I was gonna average down, but this looks weak. Like it wants this 400 level. 403.50 is what I'm seeing. 403.50, 404. Wow, boy. I don't see too much of an opportunity right now, but I do like the way that this is kind of just jumping at these levels, making some higher lows. I think that we could squeeze above this. I would love to see that high of the day around 402, 403. Feels like it could be one of those days to me. NVIDIA, once again, just being strong. Looks like 240, above 240 is probably where this is going to go. It doesn't have enough movement for me, really. Tesla, same situation. I don't see too much of an opportunity there either. It does look like it could reverse, though, so that would actually be nuts. Did bounce a little bit. Could come back up to 205-ish. All right, where are we going here? Are we breaking down? Are we running up? This little reversal candle makes me think that we're going one way, but this rejection at this level just sucks. Where we at? I'm going to average down here, I think. If I can get down to like 270, I'd be happy. Unless it squeezes above the VWAP, but it's struggling that VWAP pretty heavily right now. These 40/40s are really great value because they're only about $20 away. Could be a very easy run if we start to squeeze. I'm at 320. I'm down 20 a contract. Just have that one still, looking for that good entry point. I had a couple opportunities to average down, but I'm not fully confident that this stays. As you can see, it's struggling again. It did retest and break out of that, so the bearish pennant's kind of not so much there anymore. I would like to see this at like 255, maybe 260. I think one more pullback, I might get back into the reversal, and then I'll stop myself out if it ends up going to low of the day. I do like that this is kind of pointing up. Not so much this one, but... All right, I'm putting a fill in at 260. Let's see if we get filled. Does look bearish to me, but... Getting a lot of sells here. This looks pretty bad on the downside, I will not lie. I don't know if I would follow this, guys. I think I might end up taking a loss on this. I now have an average at 300. It's at 250, so I only have two, so it's not a big risk, so don't risk too much. It does feel like there's a lot of negative momentum coming in here. A lot of sells. If it breaks below this low or this uptrend, I'm definitely out. I'll probably take about a $250, $300 loss. But trying to be patient as much as possible. Looks real weak though. This VWAP is hella strong. Oh, there she goes. Retesting this. It looks like it might start to expand to the downside, so be real careful. Does have this bearish pennant on the 1 minute chart, so I might end up getting stopped on this. Only have 2 contracts though. There she goes. She broke down. Down about 100 apiece. Looks like it has a lot of momentum down to this 400 level like we were talking about. Still in it. Probably should have stopped out, but I only have 2, so it's about 8 contracts less than my average. So I'm just holding on for now. My average down 1 last time. But like I said, this 15-minute chart now has room down to this 4,000 level, which is about to happen. It's a big drop. God damn. Down about 300, but I think we might get this bounce at this level, so I'm not gonna take it away just yet. So I think that there's an opportunity for 1 bounce. I think that might have been just the breakdown, and now it might start to reverse a little bit. That was a massive drop. I'm so pissed off that I ended up buying an extra one. I think I might buy one more, but this does look weak as fuck. Okay, so down to this 401, 450. I'm fighting a trend right now, so. Fighting a trend. I'm still down about, what, I don't know, 90 a contract. I might have to buy one more here for this reversal. See if I can get one more at 185. And now it doesn't want to fill me. All right, so I have one sitting at 185. I still think for some reason, even after this massive buy candle here, we're still back above that. Just kind of squeezed all the bears out, made everybody hit their stop loss. I wasn't fooled. I do see a bear flag on this 1 minute, so it could still continue down to test that 400, but we were just about right there, so I want to see one reversal. I'm down 80 a piece. I wanted to get 3, because if this runs back up to 500 a piece, could be a nice little profit. This is a lot of buying, and with this volume coming in, makes me feel like we just hammered in that bottom. It looks like we're about to squeeze up now. Now I'm about to be fucking sitting right at my cost basis, which is nice. I really wish I would have grabbed that one at 185, but it didn't work. Now I'm confident in the upside, because if we tap that 400 now, I don't really see much of a drop candle. That's a huge reversal to the upside. So let me see if I can get one more here. I might do like 250, 260. Nah, I'm just going to let this rock. I'll let these 2 go, and I'm going to try and make about 100, maybe 200 a contract here. If we can get near that high of the day, this looks like it could really run to that 402, 403 level. Just got a nice little bounce. Didn't tap that 4,000 that I thought it was going to. Damn, this VWAP level is just being a bitch. Sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Please break. Please break here. Nice little wedge pattern. I want to see it break above that. Only one trade from me today, and it's really just this SPX, and I've been playing with it. I wish I would have grabbed that big spike down. That would have been really, really nice. Went from 150 to 300, 100% trade in seconds. It's crazy watching these levels and these reversal levels. I don't know why I haven't been playing the Bollinger Band reversals lately. Those are the best opportunities. The bottoms of these Bollinger Band reversals, the top Bollinger Band reversals. But I've been trying to play these trend lines because they've been working. But this one is making me fight. This one's really making me fight. I'm only down 30 a piece though, so I can't be too upset. I only have 600 bucks all in. Nothing crazy. SPX, you don't need a lot of money to make a lot of money on these, I promise. Which is why I play them. Especially when I live stream so everybody can play along. So if I can't just be scalping in and out. A lot of traders will buy 30, 40, 50 contracts at a time and take one move up, and it's like you make 3% and everybody else doesn't make too much money because they risk $60,000 on one trade, which is a great way to trade. That's what most people do. You know, you just want to take your gains, secure good dollar values, and get out. But in terms of live streaming and making sure everybody has value here, I try to trade with a minimal amount of money, so at least everybody can take advantage of it. Looks like this is starting to get a little weaker down here. Might be able to get one more. I might try for a fill at 200 if I can. Market's all over the place. I usually love this volatility, but I hate when it is volatile in one little range. Look at this, from 400. It looks like these are big moves, but they're only like 20-cent moves, 40-cent moves. This was a massive buy candle. I'm surprised that this didn't continue to go. All we need to do is break this VWAP, and this thing is off to the races. Just trying to be patient, because I have a weird feeling we're close enough to the money of these 40/40s that this could end up running to in the money, and these could be worth 1,000 a piece easy. So yeah. Yeah, no, but that's the way, that's really the way to trade though. AR trades. I feel like once you start to save up a good amount of money, I would honestly start if you're trying to build up a small account. The SPX is tough. It's really hard, right? So you have to get in at the right time, same moves. So the way deck trades very similar to SPX. Even if you buy one contract or two contracts, you can make $300-400 in a day off of minimal risk. You know, 400, 500 bucks all in right now. I think I'm in it with 600 bucks. But if this runs up to the high of the day and ends up going to 600, I just made 100% on my trade with literally minimal money. So that's a good way to like scalp and make your money up on the SPX. But honestly, the SPY is really great. You know, a couple of days out, 2 days out, they're about 80 cents, 70 cents a contract for out of the monies. I usually like to play near the monies or in the money or right at the money. So if the SPY's at 401, taking these 403 calls for tomorrow or the next day so you can protect yourself from theta, that's another good way. If you have like $1,000 account, that's a pretty good way to do it and keep yourself stopped out around like $100 a trade, 10%. I think that's like another good way to start building up a nice portfolio for yourself. But just remember that you don't need to be making thousands of dollars every day. You could be making $400 a day, $300 a day, and still make $100K a year. So these small gains do add up. You don't need to make $1 million overnight. And I feel like that's what people use the stock market as a casino rather than like a strategy to make some quick cash. And once you use that quick cash, if you have two accounts, that's how I funnel all my long-term investments. I don't even use like paychecks or revenue or passive income streams that I have from my other companies that I own. I don't really even use those to funnel into investments. I use my trading account, get it to a certain level, and then transfer it over to my long-term. So I just buy it with that type of stuff and just save some money for taxes. I'm sorry, I'm just paying attention to this. I don't really like this, the way this is setting up on me right now. Down about 80, 100 a contract. Damn, dude, this is just going against me. These last 2 days have been pretty tough for me. Just been on the wrong side twice. 2 days in a row. This looks like it's probably going to retest that 400 now. Tried to break out, and then there was no buyers up there, so it doesn't look the best. I'm probably not going to average down on this. I might end up having to take a loss here. Down 100 a piece. If we can get above that VWAP level, that's huge. But it doesn't look so good. Yeah, these contracts are fried. Only 2 of them. I might end up getting one more, but this looks weak. I don't know how this is. One of these big ass buy candles. This is one of those days that's like a complete fake out. I would assume that this is probably going to be below 400 here in a little bit. At that point, I'd probably have to get out. It kind of looks like this is just going to start to come back down all the way down here. We do have room to that 398 level if it doesn't get above that VWAP. It looked like it was going to fly right through it, but it faked everybody out. This is where a lot of traders probably got stopped out. This VWAP is very, very strong today. It's only 80-cent moves though. That's the big issue I have right now. It's 401.20 to 435. It's not even a dollar move down, but this is just getting sold right back off after this massive rip. So I would assume that this is probably going to head lower, and I'm going to end up getting stopped out of this. It could be shorts covering. Could be, but question is do I want to buy one more average down for the bounce? But I just don't think it's going to bounce, and I don't want to continue to buy something here and then just lose an extra $100. I'm keeping everything very small, so I'm not too concerned about this, but I do want to obviously make a profit. This does look like a head and shoulders pattern like I was talking about earlier, so maybe that VWAP is the new shoulder. It's kind of a lower shoulder, so maybe Buddy's just like a little slant, maybe a scoliosis head and shoulders here. Would love to see a little bounce at that 400 level, though. I don't think I'm going to be able to see that. Would love to, but I think it's destroying me. Many times I do say I love the Bollinger Band reversals. So we're below this lower Bollinger Band. They're starting to expand a little bit, but I do see an opportunity for this SPX to be at 4,000. So I still think that this might spike down below 400 just a little bit. Thanks, buddy. PanW actually worked out really well. It spiked up just for a little bit, though, and shit, it did it again. 185 to 190. I was just talking about this. Maybe this could be a good opportunity to trade the 190s again. Damn, that's so bad. I was just talking about that because those probably would have paid ridiculous, too. 190s are 80 cents, and they were 50 cents, and I'm sure these just ran to 120 at that top, too. Oh, well. Oh, well. Here it is. Here's the pre-market low. Here's this low. If we go below this, it's going to 400 in a second. For some reason, why do I want the upside so bad? What the hell is wrong with me? Does anybody else feel the upside? Right at this 401 level. If we can break that 401, I think it's off to the races. It looks so weak right now, but I don't know why I want the upside so badly. There's a lot of volume in these contracts too, these 40/40s. Makes me think that a $30, $40 move is not too unreasonable, especially after so many days that the market's been down in a row. 1, 2, 3, and then it looks like it's trying to head down again. Yeah, here we go. Now we're at that excuse me, we're at that $400 level. Man, these contracts are getting toasted. I'm down almost 150 a contract, so I'm down 300 right now. The question is do I average in one more? I think my max stop would be about $500. That's about where I like to halt myself every day, because on the upside, you make a lot more. All right, I'm in one more at 145, so my average is 250. So any sort of turnaround will run for me. I don't know if I'm going to get it. This is not the best entry point in my opinion. We're at this low at 400. I think that we might bounce there. If not, we'll head way lower down to like 398, which is exactly what I'm talking about on the SPX, around that 4,000. So it looks really weak. I don't know if I would play this. It just sold off this entire bounce down to low of the day. So I'm looking for one reversal here. If I don't get it, then I'm going to probably end up losing about 500 a contract. I'm down 300-ish right now. So every time, I think I've gotten stopped out like the last 3 or 4 trades that I've taken, which sucks. Usually got a pretty high win rate, but I haven't been playing a ton of contracts lately. Usually my average is around 10. I've literally cut that in like a third or 2/3 of that because I haven't been confident in any of these moves in the market. This does look weak though. I see this head and shoulders coming in right now, which is really nice, but it looks like it's headed down to that 398 to fill this 4,000 gap. I really wanted to see some sort of bounce today. This was a fake out and a half right here. I'm going to be patient on these for a little bit. These 40/40s. Damn, these were worth 600 a piece. Unfortunate. This looks like it's headed down too. Yeah, it's headed below 400 right now. There she goes. There's the break. There's the knockout punch, guys. I'm down 150 a contract, so that's about 450. Gonna have to probably stop out here in a second. 500 is my max. That is so unfortunate. I'm still holding on, but this looks real weak, guys. I don't know if I would be buying on the call side. You could go with momentum. This is right down here. I'll try to hold off for it to hit this 4,000, then bounce on the SPX. It's at 402, but this is bad. I should have stopped myself out quite a bit ago. Down to 1, so I'm down 150 a piece, 450 still. Around 75. That's where my $500 stop target is, but it could bounce to this 4,000, so I'm still waiting for that. And no shot. NVIDIA, I would pay attention to for the upside still. If it bounces around this VWAP, it's still so strong even in a market that's getting destroyed. Still in these calls, down 150 a piece, seeing if we can get any sort of bounce, but this looks like shit. Terrible trade on my part. I thought for sure we were going to get that reversal right around here, and it just never came. Put side though, if we want to make ourselves cry a little bit on the put side of just so you can see how much these SPX contracts pay out. Let's look at these 3980s real quick. These things went from 100 to 420 in a second. That is just fucking terrible. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to swear, but it's just terrible. 40/40s. Yeah, looking pretty bad. I have to probably stop out of these. My $500 limit's right at this 75 mark. I would hate to let this go, but that is such a bad sell-off. There's not even like an ounce of people in here to buy. I got my finger on the sell signal at 85. Do I get out and just lock in my $480 loss? Or do I let her ride? I don't have floor access like personally, but I can message anybody from the floor and then they could get me in with a couple guests. I think they can get up to 5 or 10 guests on the floor. Wow, this is just getting decimated. That hurts. It hurts a lot. I'm going to take a loss on this, but I need to make sure that it doesn't bounce at least back up to 1 or like 150. It would only be a $100 loss a piece instead. I can't sell on that massive red candle, but it looks like it's just so weak that it's not going to stop. Market's about to be red just after it gapped up today. I could honestly see this engulfing this again and being below this 3975. So could see another $20 drop here in the markets, but usually I stop myself around 500 on the day. That's how I manage to build up a large account, is because I don't let my losses get more than anywhere from 500 to about 1,000 a day. Because there's very minimal loss days, but on those loss days, I try to keep them as small as possible. I just got bamboozled today. I don't know why. I don't know how this becomes a massive buy candle to a complete fake out dump, but they got me today, that's for sure. Yeah, this is weak. All right. This is how I feel. All right, guys.
Dear Slim, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. I left my cell, my pay.
All right, so this does not look like anything's happening. It looks like maybe this volume is starting to level off a little bit here. If I can get any sort of bounce, I'd be able to get out of this with a lot less of a loss. I'm right at my $500 threshold on these 3 contracts, but if it bounces back up, even close to this 400 level, I could get some of that money back. We're not going to 40-40 today. That's for damn sure. There's just no shot in hell. I was looking to mitigate this loss. I'm right at my stop loss at around that 500 at 75. But I feel like they could see a nice little bounce up here. Could get some money back. Then I'll get out of this trade. But she torched me. She did torch me. That is crazy. What a drop. Come on, baby. 85. I'm fighting the good fight right now. Where's Melly at? How's she performing? Down $1. She's basically flat. So Melly has earnings today. I'm gonna hold on to this SPX for a little bit. Probably gonna hold off on some trades for a little bit, but Melly right here on the daily chart, I still enjoy this a lot. It did break out of this little downtrend that I drew. Usually we retest and then jump. If they have good earnings, this thing could run up $100 easy, no problem. And then I have the $1,300 calls for next week. I wouldn't expect it to go that high, but it's really kind of a gamble. I don't know if you heard me talk about this last time. Melly took $200 a contract up to $2,000 a piece last time. I doubt that is the kind of move that we see probably ever again because that was ridiculous. But there is a really great opportunity here. Honestly, the downside looks good too, down to 900. So if you wanted to strangle it, you could do 1,300, 900. A little bit more at risk there, about like, what is that, 500 a piece or $500 both ways. So 250 a contract both ways. So could risk 500 if you wanted a big move. The only risk there is if it doesn't move too much, then you won't make any money on either side. But usually Melly's a pretty big mover. It'd be nice to see this open up about $80 a contract, or $80 a share up, or $90 a share up. At that point, it'd be at around 1,200, and the contracts would do pretty well. So hopefully you see the upside today. I look at the web traffic views; they look pretty nice. NVIDIA is getting milli rocked right now. Wow, look at this, 205 to 235. That would have been nice. So I'm looking at NVIDIA right now. It's about to hit that alert level that I had earlier. Doesn't look the best now. Neither does the market. The market's just going to swallow everything up, it looks like. Take this down to this low. Like I said, I think that this is going to be a bearish engulfing day around 3977. but you'll be able to see that I am down a good penny today. About 400, 500 bucks, fully transparent. We're down 524. It's usually my lockout day. Down 66% on this trade, 497. Like I said, it's still sitting right at this level, so maybe I do see a nice bounce. This is a very volatile day. Maybe we get some love back up to that 400 level. Maybe we see a bounce, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. Seems as though we've entered into a bearish market. TTM squeeze over the Squeeze Pro. I have the Squeeze Pro. I just use the TTM squeeze. I don't know. I think that the Squeeze Pro is all the same. Same shit, just a different calculation. Come on. Give me some money back. I don't even want it all back. You can keep like 250 of it or 300 if you want, but give me some money back. I don't want to be down 500, you know? I want to see a nice little green candle. I'm going to look at the Google chart because the Google chart will tell me a lot more for some reason. SPY stock. Yeah, we're buried, guys. We're not coming back up at all. That hurts. That hurts. I had some high conviction. This candlestick, man. I just like, even sometimes you've been doing this for so long, you see this candlestick, you're like, oh, we're headed up. Nope. That's crazy. It's because so many times you see this volume come in here and it rips up, and then there's massive sellers just waiting for people to get buried. That's exactly what they were doing to us. That's exactly what they did to us. 401 down to 399, and then they just stole our contracts. Crazy. Crazy people, man. 197. Amazon's at 94. I'm going to start, while you guys are watching, I'm going to look for, I'm going to buy 100 shares of something here pretty soon. Maybe throw like 10K into Amazon and look for some puts. But they just don't pay that much. 200 bucks. Not really worth it. Maybe I should get something like Tesla. Maybe I'll throw in 20K and get something like Tesla. So I want to start doing some, this is a different account, by the way. This is my live stream account, so far not doing so well on it, but there is opportunities in Tesla to make a lot of money. I just know that the way that I would stream this is way different than most. I might upload $1,000. Oh, dude, I could make so much money off these. So basically what I'm going to do on here is I'm going to upload enough money to have 100 shares in Tesla because these premiums are so great. These are like 900 a piece, 1,000 a piece. If you sell the premiums, you just collect this money. So I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to collect this money, 100 shares. I might sell puts, I might sell calls. So I think I'm going to upload a good amount of money into this so I can start selling options rather than buying options. I will buy options for sure, but I think selling options I'm going to make a shit ton, especially with these premiums. You know, if I sell these Tesla 205s, I can make $700 a week, $800 a week, you know, and then you make enough money that, what is that? You need to make 20 trades or 30 trades to get up to another $10,000 or $20,000. And then at that point, you can buy 2 of these contracts, and it's 1,600. Selling options is, yeah, write-in covered calls or cash secured puts. You can make way more money off that. Way more money off selling them. Because, I mean, look at every single one of these contracts, like all the time. Watch this. Tesla right here, these 202s. If I send this to red real quick and you can take a look at how much Look at this. Just today, they lost $300 in value because of time decay. It obviously went that way, but you can make $300 right then. You could just buy it back. It's ridiculous how much money you can make. And then as it goes against you, the best part about cash secured puts is like there's literally no risk, right? Because I think Tesla's going to go back to $500, $600 stock in years to come. But is there downside potential with selling options? I mean, yeah, if you buy it though. So here's how it goes. There's the downside is, well, when you sell options, you always collect the premium. So let's just say, for example, you had $19,900 in shares. So you always need to have collateral for shares. This is a pretty extreme example because $20,000 is a lot of money just to invest. So, but if you had 20K, for example, this is why the rich stay rich, because they know how to make money with their money. But 20K, for example, say you had these, you don't even have to buy the shares yet. Let's just say you kept selling puts and selling puts and selling puts because you kept thinking it was going to go up. The best part about this is once you sell puts, you collect this premium. The only downside collateral is, well, you'll buy the shares if it expires or if it goes less. So let's say it's at 198 right now. I wanted to sell these, I don't know, 200, or let's say I wanted to sell these 190 puts. So if I actually, let's do this. Let's say it's bullish. Let's do the 195. So let's say I sold these 195s. I think Tesla's going to go up, so I sell these puts, but I don't have to buy the shares yet. I just have to have the amount of cash in my account. So let's just say there's 20K sitting in my account, and I just want to make $800 today. So I'll sell this 195 call, and I'll make that $800 almost instantly because it credits my account. So I'll get that $800 for selling it to somebody rather than buying it. And then as it expires to zero, going closer and closer, active trader is live now. Oh, him. Interesting. So you basically, you'll collect that $800, and if it goes to 205 and expires at 205, then you collect all that premium. You keep all $800. But if it goes to 190 and it expires less than that 195, well, instead of you buying shares at 190 or shares right away, all you do is you'll get exercised, right? So you'll keep that $800 no matter what, but you'll buy shares at the strike price that you sold. So you'll buy shares at 19.5 rather than 190. So you'll technically be down $500 on your shares, but if it goes back up, there's no risk there. You're just collecting that premium at all times until you exercise your shares, and then you could just sell those shares once it's higher, and then keep doing it again, rinse and repeat all the time. And then once it gets filled, obviously wait till your shares get profitable again, and then you could keep doing that process, rinse and repeat. But once you get filled and say it's in a downtrend, you could sell covered calls against it. So it's a little bit more of like a chess game, but way better opportunities. Telling you the amount of money that you'll make selling options is way more than you'll make buying options, especially if you can't get on the right side. So similar to what I had going on right now. I'm still on these SPX calls. I think that I'm probably torched. I forgot about them, but let's see if they're at least at 90. 75. Damn, right at that $500 mark. Yeah, I think I'm burnt toast on these. I would love to see a jump up. It could be a little reversal for me, but it looks like a bear flag, to be honest. I think these are done for. If I can get them back up to 2, though. I'm not counting these out just yet. I would just love to get my money back. Yeah, you're welcome, buddy. I think that if you were to get, I don't know, Tesla's a really extreme example because they're so expensive and the contracts are so expensive, but I'm trying to find another one. You could do like SE's not bad. I just don't believe in SE long term, to be honest, anymore. I used to have them, made a shit ton of money off of them, and then I held for way too long. I bought SE around like I think it was like 40 something a share. Oh man, the amount of money that hurts. I can't even look at that. That hurts so bad. All right, guys, you're gonna watch me lose money real quick. I'm going to sell these the $500 loss, 70 if it fills me. Probably not going to fill me. Probably going to make me sell even less. And there she goes. Just watch me lose $200 a contract, almost. About 580 was my stop. Bad day for me. Probably one of the worst that I've had in a long time. Do you favor in delta or theta when buying and selling contracts? Of course, theta is huge. So if theta is large on the contract, or the IV percentage is large on the contract, then selling the option's way better because it'll decay much faster. That's why I like these TQQQ. Triple leverages, people say, no, I think that this is still going to a shit ton. I think that the QQQ is going to reverse and I'm going to see a nice little rip and run. But I forget what I was talking about. Oh, TQQQ. I think this is going to return. So if you look at the trade real quick in the TQs, they're not very expensive. You're not going to make much money. Obviously, they're only $22 a share. But even same thing for Amazon. Honestly, Coinbase could be pretty good. Coinbase could be really great. You know, $6,000 for Coinbase. Where the hell is it? Right here. Let's see how much these premiums are. I don't think the Coinbase premiums are very expensive, actually. They're not bad. You know, $6,000, about $300 a piece here. That's pretty good. That's actually really good. So you could start with Coinbase selling options if you wanted to. Can make a good amount of money. You know, each week could be about. You can always buy them back too. It's just like options. So if you sell it for $375, it diminishes down to $200. You want to lock in that $175. More than happy to make that $175. And these, look at these implied volatility percentage and theta. Coinbase actually might be the move. All right, I just need to know if anybody in here has over $6,000 in their account. If they do, then I'm going to focus on a much more option selling type strategy. All right, let's go. All right, so there's a couple people in here. I think that honestly you can make way more consistent gains with this. So yeah, I was selling GME contracts for a while when that was hot. Made more money doing that than anything yet. You sold out. Wow, good shit. I don't know if I would like GameStop. I haven't even looked at GameStop in so long. Yeah, these contracts are shit. BBY, $8 a piece. I'm telling you guys, like the option selling opportunities are just unbelievable. Square, even let's take a look at Square. Maybe Square could be because I believe in Square long term. Square's a great company. These are also $300. I like that. I think I might do Coinbase just because crypto has like its crazy spikes and its crazy drops, and it's pretty easy to determine where crypto's going. At this point, this went from 30 to 60. Holy shit. Okay. So we could the only problem that you have to watch out for when you're selling covered calls is make sure you're buying a company at a good price, right? Because that premium sounds good and everything, but if you're going to buy, 1,000 shares or 100 shares of Coinbase at 6,000, then it drops down to like 400 or 40 here, and then you're down 2K. You're gonna have to sell 10 or you're probably like 7 or 8 of those contracts to make that money. So you're basically break even on your trade here. But then obviously if you hold long term, it'll be great. And you could always sell at like 70 and take your profit and then re-enter and stuff like that. So it's just a different type of trading, and it's a really good type of trading. And you're more consistent. That's for damn sure. But you just got to make sure that when you're buying something, make sure that you're active in it and you believe in the company long term. So like Amazon, for example, if you have 10K, it could be great, but these options suck. Like $200, nah, that's awful. It's because the stock doesn't move that much. But for something like Coinbase, great opportunity to sell. I really like CrowdStrike too. CrowdStrike is a great company long term, in my opinion. And the contracts are 300, probably not worth it. Spotify also, love that stock. Spotify contracts are not the best. I'm looking at next week, so you can obviously go much further out. So you could even like sell contracts for March, about a month out, and make $700 this month just selling options. Just easy passive income, just doing nothing. Literally clicking 2 buttons, you can make income by having money. So it's not bad. Waste management, I think these options are pretty bad too. I think that I'm going to switch my focus to selling options a lot more, just so people understand how I sell options like almost every day in my long term account, just because I just make income off of it. There's just an easy passive income for me to sit down for 5 seconds on one of my stocks that I have a pretty big position in, and then sell some options, make some extra premium, and I walk away. It's just like it's a no brainer to me. I'm probably gonna do a lot of Tesla, just because I believe in Tesla quite a bit. I'll probably I don't know if I want to buy the shares at 197, but I'll probably look for a nice little bounce level. If it drops down to like 170-ish, might sell some puts. I would love to see this around 170 again. And that's what I would start to sell some puts and start collecting like that $500, $600 a week. And overall, that's $2,400. That'll pay for your rent no matter where you live, unless you are like me and live in New York City and Tampa. So it might not pay your rent if you have 2 spots, but Coinbase is a great one. I think Coinbase is a great place to start with selling covered calls if you have that kind of money in there. If you can put like $7,000 in your account, I think that you will do very, very well selling options. You can get that up to 10K in no time. And then keep in mind, once you collect that premium, you can use that to buy and trade options as well. So I like it. I like it a lot. I think that might be my new focus here. And I believe in Coinbase. I'm an investor in Coinbase. I have crypto on Coinbase. They sell 1-to-1. I trust the company. And they were at 350 at one point. So once Bitcoin turns around, I feel like Coinbase is really going to start rocking again. These were 31 though. Imagine that. Getting only $3,000 in there. $6,000 would have been 200 shares. You could have been collecting. That's the goal, right? So I don't know. Is there people still on here listening? So the goal here is you don't have stop loss in trading SPX. I find it super tough to trade SPX. It is really tough. So when would selling contracts be a bad thing? That's a great question because I don't know. I don't think it is a bad thing. I think that the only time it'd be a bad thing to sell contracts is like in a squeeze, right? So let's just say you're selling contracts and it goes up like crazy on you. So if you sell a call or sell a put and it's squeezing down, you could end up taking a loss on it. So let's say, let's see, let's just do a Coinbase for the example here. So if you're selling, let's say you have 6,000 shares of Coinbase, right? And you're selling calls. Um, you're selling this call, and that means if you're selling a call, you want it to go down, right? You don't want it to expire above. So let's say you sell this call at 380 here, and it starts spiking up. Starts spiking up like crazy here. So the contract ends up going to 630. It looks a little scary at that point. So maybe next time it goes to 800. So then it looks like you're down $500 on this contract because you sold it and it's worth a lot more. You can lose money. Yeah, so you can lose money if it starts squeezing. So you still have to trade and be a little bit, you have to know which way the market's going to go. So you got to look at technical analysis still. You got to make key decisions, but really cover, you could sell calls on a day-to-day basis too. You don't have to do it like for a week out. I could look at Coinbase right now and go to charts. Let's go to Coinbase real quick. Let's go to just today. Say I wanted to trade for tomorrow. These contracts are 200 a piece here. I could sell them. If you sell out of the money ones, you'll collect it, but it's not that much money. So you could go to charts right here. Look at this. These are worth 500 today. Say you sold this this right here. So it's basically the same thing, except now theta is on your side. So instead of buying every day, you could sell them. So you could day trade just on the sell side. So say this spiked up like crazy. You're like, okay, there's no way this is going to hold. You have those 100 shares still, but you want to make some premium on the downside. You sell that contract that expired today at $5. So went down to 5. Now it's down to 2. You'd be up $300. But the best part about this is that theta is on your side. So as it chops and gets closer to expiration, you're just collecting that premium even more rather than when it chops and goes against you, you're getting screwed. You're basically getting double screwed by buying options on a short-term basis, where when you're selling options, you're kind of playing with the house because you expect it to go to zero, and so do they. So selling options trading is probably the better option that you could possibly do, in my opinion. And if buying options works for you, it works for me. I've made a ton of money buying options, but excuse me, selling options I've just noticed is just way better risk, way better reward. You're not going to make crazy returns, obviously, because you can only make the premium. But let's just say if you're struggling in options buying, then option selling, maybe take a look at it. Limited gains, obviously, because you can only tell how much the premium is. As in buying options, if you buy the SPX, you can make $800 a contract in seconds if it goes your way. But if you're struggling to buy, try selling because you're playing with the house. And I still cannot believe that this sold off like that. You collect the premium every time someone buys your contract. So it's just like I sell you this phone for $500, I get $500 directly. So instead of me paying for the option contract and then selling it back, you always make money selling options. You just get that premium right into your account right away. And then it's up to you whether you let it expire and then you collect the full premium or you buy it back for either a gain or a mini loss, up to you, depending on what the stock is doing. It's just literally the opposite of what you do in buying options. But in selling, just keep in mind the biggest difference is the IV percentage and the theta are on your account. You're welcome. You're welcome, Levi. I think that the market is toast. I think the stock market is toast. And I like to do this game where how much could I have made if I took puts instead of calls. So let's cry together real quick. My guess is I would have made a good amount of money because those $4,000 puts. Oh my god, there's no way. There's no way. There's literally no way these were $300 and now they're $2,000. Wow. I tell you what, that hurts. Not that I am mad about this trade because I'm going to take this every time. If I see this jump up every time, I'm going to take this for the breakout. Especially in an uptrend. It breaks down and then you see a nice little double bottom pop. I'm going to take that every time. But holy shit, this is crazy. Wow. Even this one right here was pretty easy to sell. I ended up selling when it started to break down, but that bear flag is real nice. I think that we're starting to enter into that bear market again. I think that we're going to start seeing those massive sell-offs here pretty soon, where we see those rare green days rather than this little rally that was the rare red day, or green days. Let me zoom out of this. Let me look at the weekly chart real quick. How do we look? Yeah, we got some room down. It looks like this weekly chart just broke that. Oh, it didn't yet. Look at that. We're sitting right on that level. From low on the weekly chart to here at this 398. It's already 11:30. Jesus. Well, you guys witnessed me lose $500. Tough day. Completely shattered the market downside. It looked like we were headed up to that 405 early on, but didn't end up taking that. Very interesting. It's just bad execution on my end. Now that I look at this, it looks like this bearish engulfing, that sideways move. Now it looks like it's going to head down to that 370. So I might end up taking another put here at some point, but I'm going to be patient. Probably going to hop off for a little bit because these are dead hours. But hopefully that option selling stuff kind of made sense because that's where I'm going to be focusing a lot of my energy here pretty soon, especially on these live things. So I'm going to let you guys do your thing, but I will be back on probably around like 1-ish if I see any sort of opportunity. Let me know if you need anything though. So you can hit me up on here. You can hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, got them all. So easy to find me at just Next Area Trading. I don't really trade in Power Hour. Usually I like to trade the mornings only, but I might trade in Power Hour just to see if I can make some money. But like I said, I don't. Oh man, AR trades. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, that hurts. $402 puts you literally would have bought the top. It's all right. You sell weekly options or 0 DTE options. Usually I sell next week's, but I'm starting to think that I could trade same days because same days expire all of the time, like nearly zero. Same with, like, let's look at Tesla real quick. I think this is pretty interesting to me to sell. I mean, it's not 0 DTE, obviously, but like, let's just say I was trying to sell these $200 puts or these $200 calls earlier. They're now $267, but earlier they were $750. I could have collected $500 for what? Selling an option, and Theta's on my side. So if Theta's on my side and I can make that amount of money, like, dude, what? Like, why would I not sell same days instead of buy same days? Because they go to zero. It's the same story all of the time. It's you're buying options and you're like, oh shit, I need it to go right now. I need it to go right now, but they don't move that much, right? So let's think of these. Say you were buying these $200 calls and you thought it was going to bounce at this level. Even here, say you're buying these calls at this level and you're like, oh, I'm going to get in on some calls here. I'm going to make some money. Starts to break out for you a little bit. It goes from 300 to 450. You made $150. That's sick, right? But if you were to sell these options on this position, let's say it goes to 400. So you sell it at 400 off of that spike. You're down a little bit. You're down, what, $60 on this? What the hell is that, right? So you're down $60 even on this big spike. But then Theta starts to help you out. Next thing you know, you're up 50. Now you're up 100. Now you're up 200. So theta's on your side. So if you just flip the script, they're literally, you could lose money selling, yes, of course, right? You could lose money doing anything, but you're you're playing with the house. Think of it like a casino. I don't know if you know how to play the craps table, but if you play the craps table, if you bet on the, do you know how to play craps? Does that make sense? I don't want to make this analogy if you don't know how to play craps, but you can lose money, right? So let's say you sell the contract at, but you can keep your stops, same as the other way. And just flipping the script a little bit to make sure that you have more of an advantage. So if you wanted to sell a contract here and say it was worth 376, it spiked up to 460, you would have lost $90 a contract, but you can always set a stop loss on the buy side as well. So if you only wanted to stop yourself out 50 bucks, you're still trading and you could lose that money for sure, but the odds are way more in your favor with theta on your side. So if you sell that at 400, you had a stop loss of $100, it jumps up to 460, didn't hit your stop yet because it didn't go up to 5 because you have that $100 stop, and then it starts to go and reverse a little bit, or it starts to chop, but as it chops and goes sideways, theta starts to crush the contracts. So you have an advantage. Does that make sense? Yes, that's all I'm saying. Selling calls, selling puts, you have an advantage by having this implied volatility percentage on your side. Same with the theta. I usually sell weeklies because when you swing them, theta's on your side is even more. But if you're a day trader and you want to sit here and day trade, yeah, you can make these crazy returns buying the SPX, buying the SPY. But some days I don't really want to have that high stress. I want to have the low stress and I want to have the odds in my favor, especially on Fridays and Mondays. Every single day, you'll sit here and watch traders go, it's just chopping. There's no opportunities. Not in my eyes. You're seeing a shit ton of those because you can sell them. I'm going to start trading them. I'm going to do it on here. I'm going to start selling them, and I'm going to show you that this opportunity is unbelievable. So I'll switch over to doing that here pretty soon. I'll upload about, maybe I'll upload $20,000 into this account. Actually, I'll upload about 10K into this smaller account so I can trade coin. I'll do Coinbase instead. Actually, I'm going to do Tesla. I know you guys probably couldn't follow, a lot of people couldn't follow Tesla. If you have 20K in the account, that's great. If you have Coinbase, I'd love to trade with you guys, but I think that the opportunity here is great. So Tesla and Coinbase really do kind of have similar charts, so we can kind of see that. Coinbase might be better for you as well. So yeah, Tesla, same situation here. Tesla going down, so you'll be able to see similar setups on Coinbase. If you were to do like 6K, maybe I will. Let me do one more thing before I head out. Let me do Coinbase. Let me see if this is worth it for me. So if I do, I could sell calls, I could sell puts. Yeah, I mean, if I upload 6K, I mean, it's all relative, right? So if I upload 6K here, I can make $200 a contract on puts, 250. But keep in mind when you sell them, you can't really sell more than one because it's per 100 contracts. That's somewhat of the downside. That's why it's better to have more money in there, which is why I might just do Tesla. So I can make more money, obviously, on these. But I could also sell puts on Tesla, which is usually the better opportunity because that thing just goes crazy. But let's look at these 190 puts. So if I were to sell these puts, let's do one more example for you. If I were to sell these puts at, or that's not what I wanted to do. I would have sold calls at that point. Let me see. So let's look if it would have went against us. So let's say we sold these 197 puts earlier. Say we sold them. Say we sold the puts thinking it was going to go up after this candle, but it continued to drop. That is right around. This is literally a perfect example of this, right? So this is where it opened up, then it spiked up because it dropped down this much, and then it started to spike down a little bit. So let's say we sold these puts around, I don't know, this is this spike down. So let's say I sold these on this jump up around 300, right? So I sold these at 300. Even though it's all the way back down to here, I'm only down $65. And this is a pretty massive jump down. So if you were on calls at this level, you're down like literally 80%. But if you're selling them, you're still only down $60 because theta is on your side. And even though it's trending in a downward position, it's not going up that much. So let's say that I bought at this level, or I sold these puts here, and it started to go against me, because when you sell puts, you want it to go up. So think this is the reversal, that fake out reversal that we saw, and it goes against me. I sell them at 300 here. I'm still only down $70, even after all of this happens. But if I were to buy this and it continued going down, I'd be down like 80% right now. So flip the script, utilize options for what they're actually made for, because they're designed to go to zero. That's why there's something called theta, the decay, and it screws you. So play with the house. Hopefully that makes sense. But I'm going to get some food. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully it changes some perspective, because as a trader and an investor, the rich people in the market on Wall Street, in hedge funds, they do this. Everybody does this. Everybody sells options. Some of the richest people I know just sell option contracts because they're designed to go to zero. So I'm going to flip the script a little bit. I'm going to start educating on that. That's going to be my differentiator. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. And then I'm going to upload some money on this smaller account, and we'll start selling some options, and I'll live stream that. So you can learn, and hopefully it helps you guys out. But love you all. Let me know if you need anything.